Good luck, guys.
2, 1. We are now live.
It says live.
Hi.
Hi.
But is anyone watching yet?
It's hard to know because we can't fucking see anything.
Well, there's usually this like lag whenever you go live on anything for a few seconds.
It's true, but we are on a foreign website.
Well, foreign depending on who you are.
No, it's in foreign language. We don't know what's happening.
That's true.
Hello. We're here for your credit card numbers.
The black web.
Yeah.
Black Veil web. Whoa!
We're
Yeah.
here for the 3-digit code on the back of your card. So if you go ahead and put that in the chat, Downey will read them out, and we'll be done.
Hi. I'm your friend Ryan J. Downey. These are my friends Black Veil Brides. And there are definitely people here because the comments are flying very, very fast.
And that's TikTok. Say hi to TikTok.
There's TikTok over there.
And what are you doing?
I believe that's called Instagram or
Are we
Meta.
visible on there?
Sure are.
Fuck you. Hi.
Yay.
Hi, everyone. That's Jinxx. It's hard to tell because of the sides. Jake.
Mhm.
Cease. Forks. Forks, Washington.
Andrew.
Yeah.
This is our friend Andrew. He's here.
I'm here. How is what the Native Americans say.
There are no shortage of questions. You always worry when you do something like this. Like, I hope people show up and ask questions.
Yeah.
There's a lot, but I'm going to be selfish and ask some of my questions first.
Someone said Bill Waterman in the chat.
What?
Yeah.
Is he here?
Well, it's in all caps, so they might have been on PCP.
I have a question.
Was that it? Or
Was
was
be
it?
Bill Waterman on PCP?
Yeah. Was it, what's the difference? What are the different drugs? Talk about drugs. There's PCP. Is DMT angel dust?
Are Quaaludes PCP?
Let us know.
Quaaludes still exist.
Let us know how you feel. And again, please provide your credit card numbers in the chat for Ryan J. Downey. Take it away.
Don't forget the little digits on the
The
back.
last three on the back.
Well, like any great Q&A, my first question is actually more of a comment. My comment is, I think, let's see if the chat agrees with me. I think Vindicate, Certainty, and Leaders are in the top 5 Black Veil songs ever.
That's very nice.
And those are all on your new album.
That's pretty amazing.
That's pretty amazing this far into a band's career to not just be spinning your wheels or making grand experimental things no one cares about. I mean, I feel like this record, it's almost like a Black Veil greatest hits, but it's
Very nice.
new songs, but it's everything that you have done and have aspired to do, just like times 10.
Well, thank you. It's
pretty
very
amazing.
kind. I think all of us can speak to different elements in the record, but one of the things I noticed, and even just, I talk about this record every day, doing press, whatever it is, one of the things that keeps occurring to me is that the process for making this record was so similar to our first 2 records. And even though tonally they're not that, you wouldn't say, oh, this sounds like the first 2 records, but the process of it being just us and not having another big personality around that's kind of directing traffic, so to speak, I think allowed for us to make something that feels weirdly like a sequel to the beginning of the band this many years in, which is kind of fun and fresh because since the 3rd record, we've been working with great, huge producers, but a lot of them have their thumbprints on those records. And so this one felt like if the band from 2011 made a record with all the skills that we have now, and obviously all the depth of knowledge that we have that we've learned from those producers, but we were able to kind of really make it on our own. And so I think because of that, it feels very much like distilled Black Veil Brides in a lot of ways.
And what does that process turn into when, obviously, Jake, I'm just going to point that way.
It's hard for us
Right,
on this,
right.
but this
We
is
don't-
probably
we-
easier,
we
but on
can
the
know
screen
what it
it's
is.
difficult, yeah.
But you have a producer, mixer, engineer in your band. That's got to make pre-production easier than it is for a lot of bands. But what's that writing process like now with, any band who's had any kind of longevity? Eventually, not everyone's going to be living in the same town. You're going to have different things going on. So at what point do you say, hey, we want to start working on music? And then how does that start happening?
I mean, for me, this record, I started between tours when I'm at home. I mean, music is what I do, man. That's my passion. So when I'm off tour, I'm in my studio. If my iPhone, the voice note app, you can just scroll and scroll and scroll, and it's just hundreds and hundreds of voice note ideas. So like between tours, I'll just go in there and start listening to some things and see if there's an idea in there that I had that's good, and then I'll find awesome stuff in there. So I just import it into Pro Tools. I started going to town and just writing songs, and I built up this catalog. There's a bunch that we didn't even get around to on this record, and once I had like enough, I kind of like sent it to everybody. I'm like, check this out. And then when it came time to, okay, we got to make a record, it was which ones do we want to like finish out and fully produce.
Yep. Are those voice notes in the cloud, or do they vanish if your phone vanishes?
I think they vanish if my phone vanishes. Well, actually, I don't know. I should probably check that though.
That happened to Kirk Hammett once, apparently. He lost an iPhone with hundreds of riffs allegedly on it.
I should probably check that.
Are those ideas, is it you like humming a riff to yourself?
Yeah, it'll just be like I'm in the car or literally just woke up and something comes into my head. I just grab it and just hum it into the phone and either get to it later or I literally have like voice notes in there from 2017 that I have no idea what they are. So.
Yeah, and then like honestly, some of the pre-production stuff, like a song like "Vindicate," that Calliope music at the beginning was in his demo, you know, and it really, I don't even know if you meant to keep it in the song, but it like when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is perfect, a perfect way to come out of this speech idea that I had and all this. So like sometimes there's things like that where it maybe starts as an idea that he has, and then from a narrative perspective with what I'm putting together with the lyrics, I might understand, oh, this could take this in this place, or we need this sort of tonal thing. So it's
well, the funny thing about that is that music, that sound is what, like, I heard that and that's what inspired me. Like I just instantly in my head heard like the whole song idea.
amazing.
And I just started tracking it and that's what came out. I was like, this is awesome. So yeah.
That's awesome. And one of the things I love about Black Veil is how big and theatrical and cinematic the band has been from its inception, even when you didn't necessarily have the tools or the experience to make that happen. And that makes me turn to the other guitar player in the band, because of course, as fans know, you're, in addition to a guitar player, kind of that you're the symphonic guy.
Yeah.
Talk to me about those elements on this record and what those conversations like. Andy has his ideas of what the songs are about, and how does that coalesce?
Yeah, sure. I mean, throughout our whole career, we incorporate those cinematic and orchestral elements, and I know it's not something like a lot of other metal bands do, where they have a guy who plays violin and switches back and forth between guitar and violin. But I've always thought it was cool to incorporate like Bach or Beethoven, those elements with metal, because to me those composers, that music is metal, and what we do guitar wise with all the counterpoint and harmonies, everything, and it's heavy, but it's also orchestral. So to incorporate those background elements and just kind of build on like what Jake's writing, and then I can contribute like what my expertise. With this record, what's different from previous records is that we actually had to bring in a live orchestra, and that was really cool for me to work with. That was the first time I've been able to conduct. We had strings one day.
He had the fucking stick and everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Yep.
Did you have the tuxedo or?
No. Yeah, but I was sweating, man. I was in there with them, and I was conducting, and the sessions were it was awesome. Awesome to have people playing the music that I composed. It's like one thing when you're writing music, and especially doing symphonic music or cinematic music, and you're using sound libraries and MIDI and all that, to actually write out the notes and have people perform them live. That was such an incredible experience, and it's cool to have that reflect on the record. It's just such a new element that we haven't utilized before, other than me just playing my parts and then using sonic libraries.
Yeah, and that's another reason why we're better than all the other bands you listen to, because we have someone that can do that, and none of the other fucking bands that you like can do that. So it's important that you know that about them.
I've actually had bands brag to me about being able to get a symphony on a computer in a short amount of time.
No, we have a guy who can play all that shit, and that your other favorite bands don't. So I just wanted you to know that about them.
Similar to this, of you conducting real string players and so forth, Hallelujah has a real gospel choir.
It does, yeah. The one voice one live voice choir. They changed names at some point during the process of us doing the credits. So
Was it because of you?
No, I
They
I
were
couldn't
getting
remember
away
it, so
from
they
it?
kept changing it. No, they're incredible. We were in Tampa, and the engineer that we were working with on the record, I said, do you happen to know? Because we've in the past when we worked with Bob Rock, we had gospel singers in, but never a full scale gospel choir where they're basically writing the parts based on what we had. So they came in and were incredible. I knew that we were going to do it with Hallelujah, and I think that they were so good that we just started having them sing on everything. So they appear on Cut, they appear on Vindicate, are they on there at all?
Vindicate, yeah. Woe and Pain, they're
on that. Yeah, so they're on a lot of the record, and they were just, it's so much fun. Like, I joke, it's not a joke, it is true we're better than their other favorite bands, but I joke that like the reality that it's so much fun to get to watch, like Jinxx, like Jake, like everybody in this band, to get to watch people who are so intrinsically talented and possess this ability. It's one of the most fun things about music. And for me, who, I don't have those skills. So to be able to see somebody just go note perfect and figure it out and whatever else, taking our direction, sure. But, it was really, really cool.
I also wanted to take this opportunity, if I turn it the right way. There he is. First of all, it was your birthday yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Happy birthday, CC.
Thank you.
Belated?
Thank you.
Still probably your birthday somewhere.
Still alive.
This record is CC Unleashed in the way that I wanted to hear Unleashed. There's been moments.
That's the name of his adult film.
It is.
It's the subtitles. It's called CC Unleashed, and then the subtitle is In the Ways That I've Always Wanted to See
It's
You.
it's a totally different streaming platform.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Only available on dark web. Give him your credit.
Talk to me about that evolution because I think drummers of your caliber tend to go through these evolutions where, like, at first you want to play every drum possible, and then you get into this zone of like, I just want to serve the song.
Yeah.
I feel like you've now hit that era where you're doing it all. It's like, it's all in there.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really attribute, the drum parts to Jake. He programmed it, and it's funny because he'll send me a part like, can you play this? And I'm like, nope. And he's like, too bad.
I don't learn how.
Yeah. And so, having somebody like that that's able to program these extremely complex parts, but also keep in mind, like you're sticking and what feet are, which foot is doing what and arms are doing whatever, and just make it actually playable. It pushes me to become a better musician. And so, it's funny to see all these songs that throughout our career that were giving me a problem learning. And it was so complicated and not doing that. And it just keeps evolving and getting more and more complex or harder or anything. But I obviously am definitely all about hard, heavy, fast live drums. And, Jake is as well. And so this is the most difficult, drum recording session I've ever had in the career of this band.
Well,
My personal
saying a
career as
lot.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, one thing that's great about it though is it complements the songs. So songs like Cut, things are really pulled back at things, and it's not just like, look at how fast and crazy I could go. But some of the heavier stuff, there's some pretty gnarly stuff.
You have opportunities to do that.
Yeah. So I'm practicing as much as I can in here, coming in early, before some of the other guys. Jake and I will come in early, and some of the other guys will come in early because it's just like, oh my God, how are we going to pull this off? But in the long run, it makes us better musicians, and hopefully it all shows, with the way it's received by the fans.
I swear I have things to say about your frontman and leader. But first, Mr. Eagleton, I mean, you are the newest member of the band, but how new is new at this point? I mean,
We were talking about this the other day. It'll be 7 years.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Soon he will
Yeah.
supersede Satan, which we're pretty excited about.
I would imagine it's in some ways it feels like you just joined. In other ways, it feels like you've been here longer than 7 years. What's your take on this whole experience?
I would look at you, but I'm not doing this. I'm not going to arch my neck. Just so everybody knows on the stream, I'm not ignoring him, but I can't.
You can't see him.
I can see him there. So if I'm staring at you, I'm looking at him.
Yeah. Or you're just staring at yourself, which is also possible.
Sometimes I do
Yeah.
that. Go ahead, Lonnie. Sorry.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I think it goes both ways. Like, on the one hand, it has
That's the name
been-
of CC's other sex tape.
Yeah,
cool.
On
Yeah.
one hand.
On the one hand,
It goes both ways on one hand.
it has been almost 7 years, so that is a good amount of time. I think we have like dozens of inside jokes that have developed in.
And he
time
loves
that I've
inside
been-
jokes, and had always wanted to be a part of one.
Yeah.
And
now I
so
have-
the opportunity to be a part of one has really been awesome for him.
I've been a part of many with you guys. So yeah, I feel like I'm, I look at like older interviews like this that we did when I joined, and I just look so much more new in the whole thing. I feel like
You look like 7 years younger.
Yeah,
yeah,
you look
exactly. So I feel like I'm
Old ass shit.
I found my place in the band, and it feels good. But also, time moves so quickly. It also feels like it was just yesterday.
Yeah. And
A lot of people are saying happy birthday to you in the chat, and that's not fair to Cece, but it is today. You guys are right. It is Lonnie's birthday today,
Yeah.
so give it up.
It's crazy because it was Cece's birthday yesterday and also your birthday yesterday. But
And it's
also your birthday today.
And
Every
tomorrow.
day.
Yeah, it's wild too.
It's pretty awesome. There are a lot of questions in here, and I swear we're going to get to them. However, before we do that, talking about the gospel choir is a nice segue into some of the themes that are on this record.
Mhm.
When you're presenting that to people who regularly, as a lifestyle, sing in the church,
Mhm.
what's that conversation like?
I didn't explain any of the content to them.
Probably a good idea.
Not because I was trying to hide it, but I just didn't think it was necessary. They did, and this is funny, they would not sing fucking on Vindicate. So they sang, we wanted to sing effing, which we were like, that doesn't make any sense because that's not the word, so it won't sit. So
Yeah.
if you listen, the gospel choir on Vindicate is singing, I'll ucking vindicate my life. And I don't understand. Explain this to me. Jesus, explain this to me. If the word ucking is okay, why is the word fucking not okay?
You could have gone ducking, like
Yeah.
the iPhone style.
Why not just say fucking? Everyone say fucking right now in your house, to yourself, when you're driving. No, but they were very lovely, and they did not want to say fucking, and we were not, we didn't force them to fuck.
So this record, do you like how I just moved right along from there?
Yeah.
It started in some ways like you were perhaps going to do another concept record. How did that idea then develop into what it became, which was more of an
Yeah.
anthology?
I mean, as you know,
short
like,
stories.
the original idea was to do Paradise Lost as a rock opera. And that was fun. And I think I personally quickly realized that I wasn't interested in the idea so much as I thought it was a fun idea. When we started actually writing stuff, we did a song not related to the Woe and Pain that's on this record,
Mhm.
but the title Woe and Pain I used, and it was literally text from Milton's Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained. And I was sort of bored by it. It wasn't all that interesting. It wasn't engaging. At some point I started thinking about a couple different things. One was as always, I'm thinking about religion all the time. And, what is it? What is a religious act? What is the distinction between a religious act versus a secular act that have the same sort of connotation? If you go to a record store and your favorite band in the whole world is all you think about, and you're wearing that band's shirt, and you buy their new record and you go home and listen to it and it means the world to you, is that not a religious act in that same way? Like, is it not connecting with some sort of higher power to have that spirituality connected to your art? So then I started thinking about what's the dark side of that. Obviously, we talk about cults, we talk about sort of manipulation, all those sort of things. And I started to land on, well, what is my religion in that capacity? Not a literal spirituality, but what is the thing that drives me, that is a secular idea, but is something that is consistent throughout my life? And that is, for better or for worse, this idea of revenge. But the distinction came for me when I started thinking about what revenge is. And I actually think it's, for all these years I always said, oh, revenge drives me. And the reality is it's not that. Because if revenge drove me, then I would be I would lack ambition, and I'd have a lot more sort of emptiness in my life, which isn't the case. What drives me is the idea of vindication. And the example I give is, when we were first starting, a very notable booking agent wrote an email with me on copy that said about the Knives and Pens video, this is trash, no one's ever going to watch this or like this, it's not 1986, blah, 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 right? Hurt my feelings. I put him on the list of people I hate forever. And then that video went on to become one of the most successful rock videos on YouTube. At no point did I win over that person. Just because the video succeeded and the band succeeded, I did not get a victory. His life wasn't made worse by my success. But what I did do was win for me. I was vindicated. I was right about this thing, and fuck you, and I'm going to move to the next thing. So that became the reality is, well, what's this abiding thing that I have that I can't let go of, that has driven me in my life and that has driven the band. When we would walk into radio stations, why would we dress up in all of our body paint at 6 a.m? Well, because we kind of wanted to say fuck you when we walked in, because the format wasn't supporting us. Or when we did festivals and we'd walk around and other bands would talk shit about us, there was this abiding fuck you, we're gonna do this attitude when we're walking the stage and, you know, some fucking hardcore band's fans are throwing shit at us at Warped Tour. It wasn't, oh, we're gonna succeed and you're all gonna die. It was, we're gonna succeed and you're gonna see that we're gonna succeed. So I then got really interested in that as a conceit for a record and writing about both the ambition as well as the futility of that feeling of vindication and revenge. And I wanted to be able to tell that story for better or for worse about how I really am. Some people I think will listen to this record and take away that I'm a little whiny bitch who can't stop complaining. And other people will take away that, wow, I relate to that. I feel that, you know? And I think that for us as a band, that has always been the line we walk. There's compilations for days on TikTok of me losing my mind on people on stage and cursing at people and fighting people. I don't do that anymore, but it's emblematic of this idea of you cannot fucking tell me what I do or why I do this, and you will not win. And that's what it's all about. If Black Veil Brides was a religion in any way, it would be that idea that you absolutely cannot tell me what to do. And that really is what the record is beyond anything else.
Well, I'm going to tell you what to do right now.
Okay.
Because I'm going to ask you to talk about Rob Flynn.
Okay.
He's one of the guests on the record. Do people know that yet, or did I just break?
No, but I think people know that.
So Rob Flynn from Machine Head sings on a song called Revenger, which ties directly into that theme that you're talking about. And that song is also kind of what makes the record a bit of an anthology, because it's a real clear sort of story from start to finish.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that and about getting him involved, because historically you're not a band that does the like, oh, what current hip person can we get to collaborate so we can have them next to our name on Spotify.
Yeah.
And this isn't one of
They
those
wouldn't work
either.
with us anyway.
So tell me
Fuck all
about
those people.
the evolution of this song, and also the relationship that Rob's had to the band over the years that people may not know.
So we were actually talking about this earlier. We had these cabs in here, right, for the staging. And some bullshit fake ass band that was on Warped Tour in 2013 thought that they would get one over dunking on us by taking pictures of our staging and claiming that we weren't playing live because you could see the backside of the staging. So
And also they're posers who clearly have never seen Slayer, because if you think all those amps are full, you're an idiot.
Right. So the next day, we turned them around and just showed the empty cabs on stage, and like we put drinks in them and shit. But we were still playing, right? And showing fuck you. Pictures of that got posted, and Rob started like reposting and on social media that he thought it was awesome that we did that, and was really vocal about supporting the band at that point. And that was kind of our introduction to him, was him speaking up for us. And then we would play festivals and he would come watch us. And it just became a friendship that went on for years, of somebody that maybe traditionally wouldn't have been somebody who you'd think would support the band, but has been a vocal supporter to the level that if I see him at a festival, he asks specific songs about the set list. You know, he really is a dedicated fan, or friend and fan in that way. And we're fans of his. And so it just seemed like a natural thing. And the other reality is, it's the only song on the record that lyrically is not my voices, and I'm not narrating it for me. It's I wanted to talk about justice in a less abstract way. We all love John Wick movies or all these kind of things where the conceit of the story is, oh, good, the guy that we like is killing all those other people. And I think I'm guilty of this too. I love those movies, but it's a little bit of an ethically ambiguous thing, because you're cheering for the murder of other people. And so I wanted to write lyrics that reflected this idea of what someone might sing in their head if they're about to do something awful, but they think they're justified because the guilty party that they're about to take down did something wrong to them. So with that in mind, it seemed like it made sense to have Rob be the other voice, because his voice tonally felt more like that kind of shouty, angry voice that's in your mind, maybe a little bit more than mine.
Well, I have always maintained that having movies like that, what you're describing, having a song like the one that's on your record, that's preventing so many of us from going out and actually doing those things, because, you know, art is like this empathy machine where we get to experience all these different ways of life that we wouldn't otherwise. Mm-hmm. And I think in that instance that it kind of helps, you know, some have always argued that art like that is going to inspire people to do terrible things. Yeah. I think it's the opposite. I think it's preventing people from doing them.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And just so everybody knows, just to be clear, Ryan Downey would kill people if it
Yeah,
weren't
me
for
personally.
the song Avenger
Yeah.
existing.
That song specifically
Yeah.
came at just the right time. So there are a bunch of questions in here. And I also want to talk about another guest who's on your record, the great Lilith Zar.
Yeah.
How did you get her on?
Behind the TikTok right now. Can you want to flip it around or just your fingies?
I mean, were there a lot of politics and business people and
Yeah.
representatives involved? making
She
that
won't. She won't speak to me until the deal's done. So no, we. It was one of those things where, so that song initially, we were working on the first batch of material and we were on tour, and our friend Ben Bruce, from formerly Asking Alexandria, had this kind of a early stage idea of something, and he sent it over, and we immediately fell in love with the idea. And kind of all went, oh, we know exactly what we would do with this, and the grandiosity and the sort of black veil of it all. So these guys took it, started messing with it, and lyrically, I knew that I wanted to write something that was about a much more sad version of revenge, which is that a friend or someone that you love fucked you over, and or something that you were dedicated to fucked you over, and so that is much less aggressive and much more, oh, this sucks, and that feeling of the kind of pit in your stomach that you get from that. And so we had an early demo together for it, and I played it in the car, and we were listening to it, and I think instantly I was like, oh, Juliet's voice on this would be absolutely perfect. And in reality, from a lyrical perspective, one of the shared things, as you know, because you're our friend, one of the shared things we have in life is that we both have experienced that, whether it's with industry people or whatever else, this sort of, she's dealt with a lot of letdowns over the years of people. And so it just seemed emotionally like the right partnership, and everybody was down for it, and she fucking killed it.
Awesome. Love that. Yeah, and it is, wait till you guys hear that song, because it is.
I think it's one of the best, of that style of song. All of our records always have one big epic song like that. I think it's probably one of the best we've ever done. The scale is
for sure.
gigantic.
Well, I do want to take this opportunity to embarrass you a little bit by talking about your voice and just how fucking fantastic it's become. I said fucking.
Thank you.
Uh,
Are we not allowed to curse on this?
oops.
Fuck.
Fucking A. But at a time, especially when, a lot of your peers, the voices, for better or worse, right? They go through wear and tear.
Yeah, but I'm
people
younger
get
than all my
scaling
peers,
back. You
so.
are younger than all of your
Let's
peers.
also point that out.
Um,
Just want you to know that.
but but what is it that you've done to get it into the state that it's in now? Because you're singing and screaming, I would argue, better than ever.
I think it's twofold. One is 10 years ago, almost to the day, quit drinking, and really started taking my health very seriously. I work out every single day. I eat well. I before we go on tours, I'm running every morning to make sure that my stamina is up so that I can be great on stage. I take what we do very seriously. And so I wanted to improve. I didn't want to look, these guys are fucking insane. Literally, they're crazy people. They're trying to no, they're incredibly talented. And so I don't want to be the weak link and just the guy who says stuff in interviews. I want to make sure that I'm up to par with the talent in the band. And so I work very hard on that. As far as the screaming goes, I worked with David Benitez of I think he's got the Extreme Vocal Institute, but we did Zoom sessions for weeks and weeks leading up into, because I feel like I'm a good screamer, but I wanted consistency, and I wanted to be able to work tonally to do as much as I could in the live setting, probably more than the recorded setting. And I think that that's bared fruit, because if anybody's seen us live recently or on any of the Warped Tour streams, I have a lot more control over that. And I'm really excited to go do this tour, because I think that vocally, I personally feel like I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, and I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would imagine for the rest of you, Jake, for example, when you're writing songs, now it's probably similar to with Cece, where you're like, okay, I'm going to write this crazy drum part, but I know he's going to be able to pull it off and make it more killer than I can imagine. I would imagine you're now in the same spot with your singer, where you're like, oh, I know he's going to break this time.
Yeah, and when I heard that he was doing the screaming lessons and stuff, I'm like, all right, let's do more screaming then.
Yeah,
So,
Exactly.
There's a lot of it on this record.
Yeah, there is quite a bit, and it's really great. And I really like that your voice is in an era and in a genre that oftentimes is very sound alike and very, this band could be that band. you know it's Black Veil for a number of reasons, but primarily it's your voice. You recognize it. You're like, that's that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was always a goal of mine. You know, we both love Guns N' Roses, and I think, like, as a kid, I always wanted to have the kind of voice that if I'm on someone else's song, you know who I am. I'm not one of the verb the noun bands with a guy who's got a high-pitched whiny voice or whatever. I'm not any of these sort of other singers that we came up around. And by the way, when we first started, all of them talk shit about my voice. All the bands in the scene coming up were rude about the fact that I had this scratchy baritone. And look, I'll be honest with you, I couldn't sing that well when we first started, so I understood a lot of that. But I felt like if I could work hard and really improve as a singer, then my tonality would be unique, and I could be up to the par of both singing well and having something unique about it. Because my heroes, you know, Mike Ness is not a good singer, right? But his tone was cool. I liked that a lot. And I'm not talking shit. I literally have a Social Distortion jacket over the chair over there. But Danzig, not a traditionally great singer. But a lot of these guys that really inspired me had interesting voices. And I thought that was kind of what I led with as a kid. As I got older, I wanted to have a good voice, not just an interesting voice.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue a lot of our favorite singers, some of our favorite guitar players aren't necessarily technically skilled, but are gifted in ways that it's personality and it's vibe and charisma, and it's learning how to sort of weaponize what you have.
Yeah, I mean, I think similarly, I know the guitar parts. You know, actually, I was doing an interview this morning, and there's two things. I know the guitar parts in our band. Like, you can hear that it's our band right away. Drumming, you know that it's CC, right? But I think one of the secret weapons that we have, to go back to an earlier question, was to go back to, you know, me kind of saying, hey, nobody else can do this. The orchestral elements and the classical influence and all these things dating back to the first record, the sort of box sounding pieces on that first album. Jinxx has got a very unique skill set in that way. So there are a lot of things that make this band sound unlike other bands. There are things that make this band sound like our influences. We love a lot of bands and we put parts of those into the music that we make. But I think that we have a lot in this band that is very unique in that capacity, that we are coming from different places, but when you put it all together, it sounds like this thing.
How difficult is it right now when, I mean, obviously you have a new label partner, you have a great team around you, but there's all this pressure to do this paint by numbers stuff in whether it's hard rock, whether it's post metalcore. You know, I think we could sit here and name the bands who actually sound truly unique, because so many of them are following a formula.
Should we name the bands that don't?
That don't. So how much pressure is there to kind of conform to that, and how have you been able to successfully avoid conforming to that and still have a viable?
You ain't said shit.
Well, I mean, I think it's just apparent we've always stayed true to ourselves. You know, there's going to always clearly be an evolution. You can't stay the same, you know, for a period of, you know, coming up on 20 years here. And so, you know, we see a lot of people, you know, and it's kind of crazy because you see people, and we've even seen people emulate us, you know, in the early years. We're like, wait, that looks like us.
I've never seen anywhere where body paint.
Well, it's come full circle, and you know, it's funny.
I've never seen anyone who made fun of you for wearing makeup.
It's exactly, but it's funny to you know, get shit talked, and then it comes full circle. It's like, wait, like we never really went away, but you know, it was always kind of like against the world mentality because of these things, you know, coming up early on, and we stayed true to ourselves, you know, and you know, thankfully our fans came with us and having that, and you know, through that process, it's just evolving and staying true to ourselves. I mean, you could, like Andy was saying, you could hear it in the guitar parts, you could hear it in his voice, you know, the way we run around stage, you know, that's always been us. And so I from my perspective, I think we've always tried to be genuine and authentic within that.
Amen. So you guys watching on Talk Shop Live, there is music available. We're talking about music, and you should buy some. So
I think it shows on the left there. Randy S just bought the record. So,
Randy,
hey, thank you, Randy S.
I am,
or maybe it's multiple Randys.
Not texting. I'm looking at comments. I actually see them better on the computer.
He's just texting.
Mom, I will be home in a little bit.
I do want to shout out that someone called out Dan for talking on the TikTok stream. Apparently, you can be heard. So, oh, it's Blasco. Oh.
All right. So there are some questions in here.
I love it.
Melissa C has bought a CD. Thank you, Melissa C. Justin S. I just bought both the vinyl and the CD. Sorry, Melissa, but Justin's a little more of a fan than you.
Wow, that was Downey, not us.
Let's see. Let's ask questions in here. These are all you guys are doing. My least favorite thing in a Q&A, which is I have a comment, not a question. Although we love seeing your comments.
When the countries, you don't need to say countries. We know about them.
Will there be will
We
there
know
be
about
signed
countries.
CDs available at your shows? That's a decent question.
Yes, there will be. Yes, yes.
Have you guys considered? This is a good question from They're Going By So Fast. I'm sorry.
That's a crazy name.
But there is a good question from They're Going By So Fast. I'm sorry. Really good guy. Angel wants to know: have you guys considered playing the new album in its entirety?
Yes, and eventually we will. But we're playing what five new ones on this tour.
Wow,
So that's a lot.
that is
Lonnie wants to play less, but we said, look, we got to play new material.
Raven says, Andy, my daughter wants to know if you like boba. I don't know if that's Boba Fett. Or
Is
if
that a
that's
euphemism?
drink, or if that's something from CC's sex.
I
tape.
don't know what it is, and I refuse to answer.
How about each of you? Rebecca would like to know, and I'll just pose this to each of you. Which is your favorite song from this record? And I know that changes, so maybe
Lawn Dog?
favorite song currently.
Probably right now is Revenger. Been listening to that one lately.
It's changed.
Yeah. I used to be into Cut mostly.
Now he doesn't like it.
Now I hate Cut and I love it.
Excellent.
Will and Pain for me. That's a good one.
Man, it's hard to pick because every time I'm like, oh, I think this is like probably one of the best songs on the album, and then like, some days will go by. I'm working on the ones that we're going to be playing live, and then I'll be like I was just thinking before we even decided to play Revenger, I was like, oh, that would be sick to play. And then I'm like looking at something, like, oh yeah, Sorrow, that one's great too. So I don't know. I love them all.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
great.
I
It's
love
a good
them all
problem
the
to
same.
have.
Yeah.
I love Ave Maria. It's a good one. I'd love to play that with live. Will and Pain.
Yeah.
I love Cut, and right now I'm loving playing Vindicate. So
Yeah.
I like these kind of questions.
there's like
curious.
it's hard to
Yeah,
pick.
it's
Dude,
hard.
it's so
Yeah.
hard. Yeah,
Everyone's making their pitch for
Yeah.
one you probably haven't talked about.
they're all great. So
What's your favorite?
Yeah, it's so hard to say. Cut is always special because it's just like that's so in the wheelhouse of what I love big grand shit like that. But as far as like the like heavy banger songs on the record, which is most of the record, I just feel like Alive always gets me hyped. Like if I'm driving listening to the record, Alive is always one. Plus there's a lot of it's very funny. There's a lot of Bruce Springsteen references in Alive, which are not immediately obvious, but I like for myself knowing that.
Yeah. Bruce Springsteen, Ghost of Ohio.
Yeah.
He's
a guy the president loves.
That's right. Let's see. I have a question that you may not be able to answer yet or want to answer yet. Outside material, extra material. You mentioned having a lot of stuff that you didn't even get to.
There are bonus songs, but Jake's been working on new material.
But can we talk about bonus songs
Sure.
if they exist?
There's going to be one that's going to be available I saw it's on Spotify. Is it out everywhere? The bonus track? Okay. So AFI cover, Death
Okay,
of
so
Seasons.
we can talk about that.
Yes, Death of Seasons cover, AFI cover from the Singsara record. That'll be the bonus song on all streaming platforms. And then there's going to be some other ones that are going to get rolled out. But there's the Thank You for the Venom cover, the My Chem cover that has already come and gone in terms of people being able to buy that one. But there is some other stuff that I'm not. Oh, can I say that?
Yeah.
There's going to be Typo Negative Black No. 1 cover that will be available
really?
on a version of the record. Yes.
You don't say.
Yes.
So when it comes to cover songs, there's these different schools of thought of, do you go super faithful to the original and pay sort of reverent tribute in that way, or do you take kind of the ideas of the songs and deconstruct it? Do you land somewhere in the middle? What was your approach with these two covers we're talking about?
Black No. 1, I think, is like a completely different song. We took kind of the original idea of how the vocals are, but it's so long and drawn out, so we kind of just like made it feel more like what we would do if we wrote the song. There's a heavy breakdown in it. It's just like it's actually really sick. It came out really cool. And then
If I had heard it, I would say that there's some really cool tempo choices in it.
yeah,
Yeah, the verses are.
If he had heard it.
Yeah,
yeah,
I would-
it's quite.
I
a
would
different-
guess.
Yeah. For the My Chem one, it's a song Andy and I both like. You know, growing up, hearing that song, how it starts with like the cool riff, and it's always like oh yeah, here it comes, and you're expecting it to just totally kick ass, and then it's kind of like lighter, you know.
Mhm.
For
The
me, it
riff
was always
really
like
builds it up.
I was
and
like,
then it
oh
goes
yeah,
like-
this is, and then I'm like, oh, man, it should be like, it should really go. So that gave us the opportunity. So
Yeah.
like, let's make it do it this time. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, just
opportunity
things
to
like
do
that.
that. Someone in here asked about the My Chem song, and so I'll just ask in general. Do you think you'll bring any of those songs out live, cover-wise?
Maybe
Someone
someday.
literally asked if you'd play a My Chem. cover.
Maybe someday. I don't think we have any intention on this tour. We were told today that we have to potentially cut up to 5 songs from our current set list length because we're going too long. So
Yeah, we can say that we're in your rehearsal space right now. So obviously
Yes.
rehearsals are underway, and that's probably when you start realizing things like that. I
Yes.
imagine.
we currently are getting to a point where we've been told by Live Nation that we have to make the show shorter. So, but you know, it's different. If you're I talk about this a lot. It's interesting. The scale is different, right? So if you're playing in a stadium, you can play for 3 hours. But if you're playing in like a theater, you can only play for some amount of time. So they reserve exclusively the 3-hour-long sets for 78-year-old men. Those are the only people that get to play. So if you go see a very old man, you can watch them play for 3.5 hours. Isn't that interesting?
You'll get there.
Yeah, one day.
One day. Shauna would like to know about the goat, working with the goat in a video, and whether or not it was a prop.
Michael
or a real
Jordan
goat.
or oh God, which goat?
Tell us about the goat. I assume it's the goat in the music video.
Oh yeah, no, it was a real goat. There's a real goat. There was a dead prop one though. Yeah. Which by the way, I fully admit it was so convincing, the dead prop goat, that I made Chevy go shake it to make sure that it wasn't a goat that had been killed and brought to the set. I'm happy to report it was a fake dead goat.
David wants to know, Jinxx, will you be playing the violin on this tour?
Yes, I will.
Tip from the moderator: yes or no questions. Don't ask them. not if you want a longer answer. I'm just kidding. That was a good yes or no question. Brittany wants to know what inspired the art style of the Hallelujah video,
Was Dore.
and also she bought vinyl.
It's a pretty direct translation of the Dore art from Paradise Lost.
Let's see. Everyone wants to know when you're coming to their town. When are you coming to everyone's town?
Today, tomorrow, next year, whenever we can, really.
Brandon wants to know, Cece, do you know that you are the best drummer out there?
I thank you for your compliment, but you know, that really
He is.
We all know.
We all
Oh,
know.
thanks.
We know.
Yeah, thank you.
And he says it when he's alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear him in his bunk going, "Fuck all those other posers."
This is a good question. Jose wants to know, when did you decide that Bleeders would be on the album? Was it always intended to be on the album? Or?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we didn't intend it for it to be 2 years as a,
Yeah.
but it was always, because that was our kind of introductory thing with Spine Farm. And then we said, hey, we're going to make the record. We just took a long time to write it after that, but it was always meant to be on the record.
Tina wants to know, since you like the themes of revenge, what do you think of the graphic novel and the film The Crow?
No one could love it as much as this guy sitting here. So that's you happen to land on one of his special interests.
Only the newest one.
He only likes the movie that came out 2 years ago
Yeah.
that no one saw.
They really nailed it. Better than the comic even. Would you ever consider doing? I'm gonna embellish your question a little bit, Laura. Would you ever
pick for a second?
would you ever consider doing an entire record like a Sweeney Todd?
Can I
or
interrupt?
somebody?
Someone has said, "Is Lonnie okay?" like 78 times, and I just want to do.
It's his birthday. Of
Can
course,
we do
he's
a proof
great.
of life on Lonnie?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm
I did look, and you did look really forlorn, and you were looking off in the distance.
No, it's the fridge is like making a sound.
Oh,
was really
The
bothering me.
refrigerator Perry?
don't you hate it? But yes, he's okay.
Other
Sorry,
than that, I'm
continue.
good.
The famous football player from the 80s Bears. Would you ever consider doing a full musical or like a Broadway type epic,
Like by myself?
a one-man show?
Yeah. Do you ever watch the Billy Crystal one-man show?
I can't say that I have.
So when we used to live at the compound together, I don't know how this happened. I downloaded on iTunes, like on the Apple Store. For some reason, I was like, I'm gonna watch Billy Crystal's one-man show, and it was fine, but I just that memory unlodged in my head of being very drunk. We had no furniture, just sitting on our carpet, smoking cigarettes and putting them out on the carpet and watching Billy Crystal talk about, on Sundays, my dad took me to baseball, and like very sort of showy.
I once explained to Billy Crystal what straight edge is.
All right.
I was interviewing him for Monsters University, and somehow straight edge came up, and he asked me to explain.
He was trying to attend Monsters University.
Exactly. and I did not have the grades.
You were
unfortunately,
the admissions
to get
interview.
in. How has Samantha wants to know, how has the meaning, you mentioned the Knives and Pens video, how has the meaning of that song changed for you over the years? I know songs can take on different meanings as you're performing them over and over.
It's interesting because if you bring back Springsteen, he always said, and I thought it was an interesting thing, that like your job is to convey an emotion on stage, not to feel the emotion. If he was still in love with Rosalita, it would be sort of crazy if he was doing that every single night for 50 years, right?
Hmm.
So Knives and Pens is not, I don't feel the teen angst that I did when I wrote the lyrics of that song. But what's been really fun is that in recent years, as a new crop of people have been finding that old video and that song, you get to kind of relive that over and over again with the audience. So, and now we've been putting it first in the show, so it's really fun to come out and see people lose it and sing along to that song, and then that kind of kicks off the show. So, I have the best relationship with it maybe that I've ever had. I feel the most happy with that song.
That's awesome. Where was she? There she is. Melissa C wants to know, do you guys hang out during tour when you're not performing?
We live together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if we didn't want to, which thankfully we all like each other, but yes.
Angel says Lonnie is the bassist BVB should have had from the beginning. I can co-sign that. You guys don't have to say anything. Emily P, any advice to someone going to a show alone?
Lonnie, do you ever go to shows alone?
I've been to a few, yeah.
Do you want to say
your
anything
advice?
to
What's your
Lonnie?
advice about
Or
going to a show alone?
I
I'll
don't
go
know.
to shows alone.
I don't know why you would need advice, but I think it's cool to go alone because then you can really just take in the full show.
No, yeah, without some fucking person
Like,
annoying you, talking
Yeah,
at you.
You don't have anyone to share the experience with, but then it's just you and the music and you and the staging and the lighting and everything, and there's nothing getting in the way of your connection with that. So I think if you look at it that way, it's fine to go to shows alone if you don't have anyone to go with.
George has a Lonnie specific question.
Fuck yeah, Lonnie back-to-backs.
What 5 songs from your entire career do you most enjoy playing live?
This is including when you played for like Vanessa Hudgens on Today's Show and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'll
You did
keep
say
it
whole
with,
career.
I'll keep it with Black Veil now,
all right.
but probably Knives and Pens is always fun. People, as you say, they lose their minds when we play that one. Like that one. Oh man, Bleeders is cool because I feel like that's the one that kicked off this new current era that we're in. So it's fun to play that one. The breakdown's pretty heavy. We got In the End. You know, that one's a party for sure.
What else you got?
Let's see. Faithless is cool.
Man, I
Yeah.
fell asleep during this. I totally forgot that you were answering a question.
What he's doing right now is under promising and over delivering. I respect it.
The
Yeah.
fifth one, right now I'm into playing Certainty, actually.
That's good.
Don't want to give away the set list, but
I think Jake already spoiled the Revenger thing, so
Well, nobody
That's-
asked
I'm happy
me.
about it. But I think like announce it. We're playing it.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, we're playing it. So,
There you go.
well, we're trying to anyway. Trying to get
Trying
it down.
to,
as
yeah.
fast-
And
Working on it.
you'll hear it very soon before we go on the tour.
Well, I wasn't asked my favorite current song on the new album, but it is Certainty. So
Is it?
No one said Certainty. I was kind of surprised. It's my favorite.
Well, thank you.
You're quite welcome. Thank you for writing it and recording it. Naomi wants to know, what was the hardest song to write? What was the most difficult to, like the song that gave you a problem where you're like, oh, I can't
Honestly,
crack
I would
this part
say
or whatever.
probably for us it was maybe Revenger because we went through so many different.
Yeah.
We couldn't quite nail what we wanted for all the structural stuff, and even then, when it was done, we went
There's
back
like
and added.
4 different versions of different melody ideas, screaming parts, or do we do singing? And yeah, we tried all these different things, and we just kind of left it for a while,
Yeah,
and then we got back to it.
but then we
And we
also
just-
added the breakdown later.
Yeah, and then that was like way later.
Yeah.
And then we added like more breakdown to it, and yeah, for sure, I think that one was the most complex. Like as far as what do we do, like which version do we pick, and
Because it's also stylistically a bit of a different song for us. It's
Yeah.
more akin to, not saying it sounds like them, but it's maybe more of a kind of a Slipknot sort of vibe as opposed to what we typically normally do. So working in that place was maybe a little bit different, and I think we really nailed it. At the end of the day, it's weird because a lot of times those like Frankenstein songs, you go, oh, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But that one, like,
I
it
think
got
it-
better and better and
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever consider doing, I've actually seen this question come through a couple of times. Obviously, we're talking about the new record, and someone asked if you'd ever perform all of the new record at some point, and you said you'd love to. Can you see yourselves doing any album anniversary, album playthrough things that bands like to do?
Well, we're kind of out of 10 years for for a while now because we made it through the first 10 years of all those records. Now, this was the 10-year anniversary of the Shadow Side record. So we've got a little bit of time before we do a 10-year anniversary, but I suppose maybe the next time, 20-year for We Stitch These Wounds or something could be cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be really cool. So I see a lot of you are in here hanging out and buying things. You know, we're trying not to make this the home shopping network because that's boring, but thank you guys for buying the record.
Yes, thank you. We
Yeah, thank
sincerely
you.
appreciate it. We understand everybody who's on the Talk Shop chat. And by the way, for anybody who isn't, you can go to the Talk Shop Live website and get a signed copy of the record and the CD. But thank you so much to everybody for buying the record. And by the way, I want to say, because I know we're getting towards the end, we still got a little bit of time. Jokes aside, everything aside, I sincerely want to thank everybody. And we were just discussing this yesterday. We are so appreciative of the tremendous level of positivity and excitement that's surrounding this record. The number of people who are posting about the songs, posting about the record itself, who've bought the record already in pre-orders. The tickets for our headline tour in the States right now, the pre-sales were some of the highest that we've ever had in our whole career. It is amazing to be this many years into the band, to be on the 7th record of the band, and to have such a fervent and amazing level of support. And just want to thank you all for that, because it means a lot to all of us, and you have allowed us to do this all these years.
Amazing. We'll give it a little clap from our studio audience in here. Yeah, we do have about 5 more minutes here that we had planned out to do this. And there is a surprise of sorts coming when we're done yammering. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yesterday, CC got a birthday cake, and we think there still might be some of that left. So
No, not the surprise
Oh,
for me.
no.
I mean
Sorry.
for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Our friend Joshua Schultz was in the studio with us every single day while we were making this record, and he was a fly on the wall and made a documentary about the whole process of making the record. And you'll get to see us in the studio working on it, CC tracking drums, sweating, and Jake. There's a little bit of Jake in his home studio. You got, I believe, Jinxx with the orchestra is in there, so you get to see what we talked about. And yeah, it's an incredible look into the process of making the record. So you guys will get to watch that as soon as we're done here.
Now, obviously, Josh has filmed a lot of stuff with you, so I'm clearly there's a degree of comfort there. But how does that, for you guys this far into being in the band, having a camera around, not having a camera around, how does that kind of change?
Well, I feel like
What
I
is
mean,
happening?
we've all known him and worked with him for so long now that it was just, it was like he was just kind of like another member of the band, but
Yeah.
he just had a camera. And he was just part of the crew there.
Yeah.
So it was all really comfortable. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's the second time we've done it. We had my cousin Joe did a doc on Wretched and Divine, so we had
Hi, Joe.
Yeah, hi Joe. We had familiarity with like having having someone there all the time. But like Jake said, I think we're all just so comfortable with Josh, and he's just a friend for so long that it didn't feel like intrusive, you know?
Yeah. Someday I hope to be friends with Black Veil Brides, just like Josh.
Yeah. This feels a little intrusive.
A little bit. A little bit. We've
It's,
got,
you know, the only reason is because Downey insists on sitting this close.
Yeah.
The plan initially was a little bit more space, but he said he wouldn't be comfortable unless our kneesies touch, which I thought was kind of a weird thing to say.
I
to call
believe
them kneesies.
I believe that was communicated to you by my management.
Yes, that's true.
So I can neither confirm nor deny whether that was a request of mine, but we are touching knee right now. Angel has ordered Vindicate CD signed. Aaron has ordered a Vindicate CD signed. I feel like my grandfather right now, leaning in to read your comments.
Yeah.
But this kicks ass, man. This chat has not stopped since we started. It's incredible. I mean, it's just, you know, all jokes aside, it's amazing to have people care this much about the art that you're making this far into it when there are so many other platforms to be watching someone stream, so many other bands whose records are coming out that you can buy. Look at all of you amazing, beautiful people hanging out right here doing this.
And thank you. I want to make sure that we address all of the other platforms as well. The reality is, and this is, you know, I don't want to get too on my soapbox here, but it's that much more appreciated from us that you guys choose to spend this time with us, because we are aware that it was particularly early in our career, there was a certain stigma to the band, and there's a lot of people who talk shit, and we are not often the belle of the ball in our scene. And so you have had to make the choice to listen to us. We were not put in front of you. A lot of bands you get told are popular or important or good. You wake up one morning and suddenly this is the most important band in the world. We've never been that. We were always the underdog, and it was because of you guys that we continued on. So 7 records in, here we are, and we have all these people across all these platforms wanting to talk with us. And that's not a brag, that's a testament to you for choosing to like something, ignoring people who talk shit, not allowing other people to determine the things that you like. And it's an honor to get to entertain you, and I hope that we can continue to do so. And we hope to continue to make records that you enjoy and to allow you the opportunity to enjoy something, and we don't disappoint you. So that's what we want to do. But we want to seriously thank you for standing up for yourself, standing up for us, and giving us a chance.
And with the last minute here, what is happening on Friday? Tell us about that. There's a very cool black.
Well, CC, we think that even by then there'll still be a little bit of cake left. Because
well, aside from Friday being Lonnie's birthday, which happy early birthday.
it was a big cake.
You can have my cake.
What's happening Friday?
We,
One of the places where it all started.
Yeah, so the first LA show that a iteration of the band played was in the parking lot of the Exhibit A gallery. And that started a relationship that's gone on for 17 years or something, where we have had a good relationship with Richard Villa, who's done all the artwork for all of our records except for one over the course of our career. And so we used to do, in fact, you and I did an interview at one of these for a publication that no longer covers us. But there was
or allows me to cover you.
But so we did something where we had an opportunity to kind of like go back, and now those events were, in those days it was like we were a brand new band. Well, now we've got 17 years of memorabilia, merchandise, the original art, the costumes from Legion of the Black, the costumes, stage costumes, the original prints that Richard made for all the artwork, things like my mic stand from the Legacy video, the skeleton statues from the Perfect Weapon video, the coffin from Coffin, like all that stuff. So we decided that we wanted to do kind of a museum and an art show. And that is going to be publicly available for anybody to come. All you have to do is RSVP. That'll be for free. You're also going to get to hear the record on loop as we're in there, and there'll be merchandise and everything else. Before that, though, and this is already sold out, we have a more private experience for people where we're going to do a private meet and greet. There's a private Q&A, and they get to hear the record uninterrupted by a million people in an art gallery, and then get to talk to us about it. So, and that, unfortunately, is already sold out, but anyone can come to the rest of the event, and that starts, I believe, at around 8 o'clock or something.
And you guys will still be there hanging out for the rest.
Yeah,
of the
we'll be there all night.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Talk Shop. Thanks to the Talk Shop people.
And thank you, shout out to my lovely wife, Lilith Zar, for holding the phone for an hour, and shout out to Chevy for holding the phone for an hour, and shout out to Ryan for being here. He's one of the people who has always supported us and has been in our corner and means the world to us. Ryan's one of my best friends and has chances are you have read a million different things that he's either written with me or about us or whatever it is. So Downey is a big part of our universe and a big defender of the band, and so it was wonderful to have him here. So thank you to all of you guys, and thank you to Talk Shop for having us, and thanks for buying the record. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Blasco and Dan, Black Veil's long-suffering management.
Of course, yes. Suffering even more now than ever before because of that fucking fridge. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.
Can I hear the production drums in that breakdown? And that thing happens, and then like the big snare fill at the end. Okay. Yep. I like where it's at right now.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't know how much goes into making an album, and you know, you'll hear a song and be like, "Oh, that's good," or "That sucks. This is crap. This is garbage," or "Oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I love it." But literally, from like the inception of a song idea to having it be a fully mixed and mastered production that people then hear, there is such a huge process of going through that. And the coolest thing is you're literally making something from nothing, just an idea in your head that came out of nowhere. So there's literally, it's like this thing doesn't exist to here's this thing that hopefully you will enjoy and can inspire you or mean something to you, and it's such a cool creative thing to be able to do.
All right. Cool. Let's do it one more time. 2, 3. I don't know, man. This pedals. All right. Okay. Something like that. So hard to get it like on. Yeah. I was just sweating my ass off at my house. But I have those like soundproof heads or like mesh, so it's hard to like really tell. Then if you're listening to music, I'm just sitting there going like nonstop until like my muscles are like shaking. Alex is like, "What are you doing down there?" Just yeah, like, "You okay? You having a moment?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know, man." And I still don't have it like clean. I was rehearsing it yesterday a little bit. Fuck.
Dude, you'll be fine. We can punch it as many times as you need.
There it goes. The interesting part about my contribution to this album is a lot of the parts that were written by Jake were very challenging for me to record, and so I think that this was the most difficult recording experience that I've had, as far as, you know, the complicated parts and just purely even just the requirements on for my stamina. After I recorded the song Ave Maria, the whole next day I was pretty shot. My legs just felt like jelly, and I couldn't do normal bass drum patterns that I would normally do without, you know, much effort. But yeah, it was just really difficult, and you know, just overthinking and getting out of my head and stuff. Some of the more simple songs, the song Cut in particular, gave me, you know, some challenges. I just started overthinking things, and it's, you know, pretty simple on drums. But you know, I'd like to think that I rose to the occasion and got what we needed for this album. I'm really excited for everyone to hear this.
That snare fill triple thing, did you have kicks in there too?
I tried. Yeah, can you replay it? I tried to on every triplet. I think so. Can you play one?
That was earlier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. If you could loop it, actually, that might work. Oh. Yeah. I was listening to it yesterday. A lot of I was actually rehearsing that a little bit yesterday. I do need to go over like some of the kick patterns. I mean, if we do it in pieces, it should be fine.
Yeah.
I haven't really rehearsed that one because it was so simple.
Yeah.
I was focused on the more complex ones.
Sure.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure we could get through that if we just kind of like do it in sections. You know, it's not super difficult. It's not like we'll have to
I'll
redo
get
fills.
that session ready then.
Oh, sorry, you got space?
Do you want to hear it one more time, the program?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little too small.
Yeah. Is that the right area? Then it goes.
It sounds pretty cool. Let's try it on. Let's try it on the chorus. That's how I would have done it. Yeah.
This is a big moment for me. Been here fucking 2 weeks.
On the last, when you were at our house that day, and I kept walking into the other room and listening to stuff, that was what was happening that entire day.
Oh, that's right.
I would just like finish one idea, send it, and then it'd be like, can you try something else here in this part? And then go in the vocal booth. Just the first thing that would come out, it ended up actually being like some of the most cool ideas. Just like that random first off the top of your head idea. And like I did that gang chant in the Ave Maria one. Yeah. Because there was like a weird melody there. Blasco was like, try something else. And I was like, well, we like gang vocals, so what if it's like a chant
We don't
thing?
have any chants.
Yeah, so
that's perfect.
yeah, that sounded really cool. And yeah, it was just like 48 hours straight of me. I mean, not straight, I did sleep, but I woke up, went straight in the studio. I was there till like 2 a.m. and just totally burnt out. Went to bed, got up the next day, straight back in there, same thing, and I was just like knocking these out. I'm like,
Because you got a flight to catch, so there's like you're on the clock.
Done before I leave, so. But did it somehow,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, I think stuff ended up coming out better anyway. So
I agree.
yeah,
The craziest thing for me then was to try to take existing titles and themes and then make them fit into entirely new melody structure.
Yeah.
But I like honestly everything
like
I got.
I tried to like keep that in mind of
Yeah.
like I want to keep the initial idea, and I tried my best.
No,
but
it totally all
yeah.
worked. Like honestly, it was easier to write to those than like Vindicate.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Because like the toughest thing for me is always when there's something else.
Well, I'm so used to being in the studio with Eric and Feldy and watching how they did the vocal idea process, and then how you turn that into actual words and singing. Yeah, so I just was like, I'm just gonna do what they do, and
Jake comes up with all this stuff, right? And then I'm trying to develop all of the story stuff, and that goes on for, I mean, I've thrown out, there was a whole other story idea because really we first started all this a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like, and I had a very specific mindset of like, it was going to be very Paradise Lost oriented. And then I kind of ditched that a little bit because it's just too overcomplicated. So I'm always trying to figure out like what the narrative is going to be. So then Jake has all these songs, we develop all that stuff, Jake works and builds everything, and then I have to try to apply my narrative ideas to each of these pieces and how I can tell the story that way. And this was probably the only time ever where we've had the time and I could, like, I've gone over all the lyrics like 78 times each and changed things and made it better. Because in the past, like, most of the time when we make a record, we've made records with songwriting producers. So, not since the beginning of the band, like, when we first started working, this is how we did it. But, like, I think I did almost all the melodies on the first record, and then the second record, it was us, and then Jake's stuff, and then this guy Luke Walker entered into the picture, and we started working more and more with outside writers. So then there started to be this, well, we can make a record in this amount of time, and we're gonna use the demos that Jake has. But then when we started working with John Feldman, it was a whole new thing where it was, we go into the studio with no songs, and we write a song every day, and we record a song, and you only have X number of days to do that. So if a song's a 4 out of 10 in terms of like how good it is, it doesn't matter because you have to have songs, so you just keep going. So you end up in a position where there's at least 3 songs on every record that, for me, like lyrically, I'm like, I don't really think I'm saying anything here, because I'm trying to do it so fast, or the producer doesn't like the way that the word sounds when I sing it because they don't understand it, so they change it to something that's nonsensical, and so then I look back at the lyrics and I'm like, well, now this doesn't mean anything, but it sings better. So with this, because there's no outside influence, like, I was able to take the time to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite to where I know how I sing every part of all these songs. So there isn't like a question of how do I make this word fit.
Right.
So that's a huge benefit. But also, like, I was telling Blasco this morning, I think that this record feels like if we had never worked with Feldman, and this is not a negative against Feldman, but if we had never worked with Feldman, what would have, like, if you can skip from the first record to now, like, this would have been our natural evolution to how maybe we would have done things.
Yeah.
Because the first record is basically the same situation, except we didn't really get to have the...
just at that time period, it wouldn't, because I've gained so much knowledge and experience with all the
I'm
sound
saying
design
only that in terms of, like, if you took a band, if you gave somebody all of the tools that we have now...
Right.
But it's the workable method from the beginning. It feels like the next logical way that maybe we would have sounded, or what our workflow would have been, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Similarly, there's very rarely a person in a band who can do all of the technical side of stuff and also write songs and everything else. Like, Jake's skill set is something that you're not really going to find in most bands. So when you combine, like, with just the two of us, I'm very good at concept and world building and workflow of, like, how the creative stuff can come together and where we can put stuff and everything. And so is Jake, but that's like a skill that I definitely have. And Jake is such a good producer already that we don't really need someone else to come into that mix.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Plus, you have all the experience of the band and dealing with those people.
Well, we learned something from all of those people.
Oh yeah, you know? every single producer that we've ever worked with, whether we're butting heads at some point, by the end of the process, I realize, I'm like, wow, I've learned so much working with this guy, and it's just all those years making different records with people, picking up like little pieces and things that each one does, and then you just kind of have your own way of doing stuff then.
Right.
Yeah.
So would you say this is the first album where all of that's coming together and you guys doing it yourselves allows you to flex those muscles?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Totally.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't know that when we first started making records with Feldman or whatever, like, I certainly didn't have an idea of all the stuff that you need to do. Like, I knew what I heard, but I didn't, you know, I wasn't thinking ahead of, like, it's gonna be better if we hire a gospel choir. But, like, Feldman was the type of person that, because you think, like, rock band, you wouldn't necessarily put those things together, even if you hear that stuff. But with Feldman, I definitely learned, like, so much different type of shit is added to the mix to make it sound big.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All of this shit, the gospel and the orchestra and all that.
Yeah, because it's all split up.
Really
so much.
fucking.
But I mean, that's probably not going to be like an all day thing.
No, that's what I'm trying to combine. So I've got on Monday we kind of got to do 2 songs, the cleans.
Okay.
So I've got Cut and Hallelujah because we've got first thing that comes in is the choir. So I want to get the leads on that done.
Sure.
Tuesday, Vindicate and Alive. Vindicate's got a lot of clean vocals, Alive has very little.
Okay.
So I'm trying to, like, combine ones that have more and less. Sorrow, Ave Maria, again, a lot of clean vocals, very little. Woe and Pain, and then the outro, we'll have to have what that is.
I think one of the coolest things was we had a choir come in and do a bunch of choir parts on songs, and they were just so professional and incredibly talented. and to hear one of the funny, just, you know, melodies that I did in a section of a song that's just me singing nonsense basically, and to see that turned into lyrics and then have this choir sing the melody and how cool it came out. Like, for me, that was, you know, something that I haven't really had the opportunity to see happen. So to see, you know, something that I created at home in my studio and then having this choir sing it with Andy's lyrics and everything, it just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just something that you emotionally feel. Like, I don't know, like, it's hard to describe. Like, it's such a cool feeling. And, you know, again, like, speaking of, music is so cool because you're creating something from nothing, and to just, you know, those quick little ideas that I was throwing down, and then to see the final product of how it turned out is just really awesome.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Andy. Andy, Tony. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Tony, nice to meet you. Hi, Destiny.
Andy, thank you.
Andy.
Hey, Andy.
No, Valerie.
Andy, thank you so much, guys, for coming.
Absolutely.
He has lyric sheets, and we'll kind of walk through everything. There's some stuff where there's big parts, and then some stuff just oohs and ahs, and kind of simple stuff.
Looking forward to it, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Yep. That's nice. You just gotta hold it at the end, but that was really good. Hallelujah for my soul. That's nice.
That's great.
I'll get him.
I can't hear.
Hallelujah, my soul. Okay. Hallelujah, my soul. That's what y'all always say. That's a good one, guys. Couple more. Praise and glory. Emphasizing on the drop jaw. I just want that sound.
It's so.
Is it delay? So, hallelujah, my soul. All right. Lil. Hallelujah, I know. So it'll be just past the beat rather than being right on the beat. Hallelujah. Good. Yep. That's nice. You just gotta hold it at the end, but that was really good. So this whole front part we got basically at the end. Let's try it again. It's close.
After tracking the drums and everything. And while we were tracking drums, I was actually in another room. I actually even composed some other pieces on the spot that were kind of a better fit, like the outro, the intro. And then while I was doing that, once I was finished, once we decided what was going to be used on the album, and then I went to the process of converting all the MIDI files to notation, so that when I had the players come in, then they were able to read the sheet music to what I composed. And I used a program called Sibelius in conjunction with Pro Tools, and able to do that, and then I had to proof everything. It's a bit of work, but it's something I enjoy doing. And once I got the actual players in here to play what I wrote, I have to tell you, the feeling was incredible to see it all come together, and to see these parts played on real instruments with real players with real emotion, and just kind of a surreal experience, because I've never actually gotten to work with a live orchestra before, and to see these people who are dedicated to playing their instruments, really put some emotion into it, and it's just going to add such an incredible aspect and flavor to this album, I think, that you haven't heard before. So I'm very excited for it, very happy with how it's turned out, and I hope everyone likes it.
And then strings, and then that gives the strings day the whole day.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because that, I don't want to skimp on that. I'd rather, and plus that,
Right.
that, like, we should be able to focus on making that exactly right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I think it needs to start more low key,
Yeah.
so that we can
Okay.
figure out whatever a versey kind of thing is going to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because if you're gonna do a vocal on it, like I hear a vocal coming in very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then whatever, if there's a chorus kind of thing, something that goes up, my thought is it happens with me like once maybe, and then we have the gospel choir
Yeah.
sing it, and then we're out. Like, so I think the whole thing should just be shorter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think structurally, like, front load more low key kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then
Yep.
let it build,
Yep.
crescendo, and then come down, and then it goes into whatever the next song is.
Okay.
So the copy of, go to all the main folders. Forget those. Where is it? Go down. Go down. Copy of Eschaton Stems for Spencer.
Through the headphones and everything. Cool. And then if we want to just warm up with something, I just got to get levels and everything.
Yeah, we're just gonna run through. Do you want to play the track?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I can.
Before they come in, it's just violins. It's just this kind of harmonic violin thing.
Let me see it.
Play from the top and you'll hear what I mean.
I can add another scream to that day, which means that we don't have to like triple up on some of these days.
Yeah.
And we'll do gangs and scream and like maybe 3 songs screaming on that day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Gangs, we'll have Lonnie here by then.
Yep.
We'll gather up. We should get some more bodies for gangs. Like
Okay.
anybody here.
Anybody that we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
around, sure.
As much grit as possible on this one, because it's not really a sing, it's just a shout. So,
Yep.
you know, mid-range, gritty. To really blow everybody's voice out before we do any of the more complicated
Yeah.
singing parts.
Yeah.
Dude, my mom was so sick for like a week.
I heard, yeah.
Hey, Mom.
4.
Lost and loud! Your sin will set me free! Oh, 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 loud! Say, quit vow!
sir.
Of course, that's not a warm up of anything. The vocals are more important than the than the timpani on the record, so we have to I don't want to.
Yeah, but you could do both, is what I'm saying.
Sure, but I want to record the vocals in the room that we've been recording all the vocals in.
Yeah, keep it all the same.
That frees up a whole day essentially to get things because I have the schedule here with no percussion because I didn't have a commitment in the schedule. So then we can keep to this schedule, which gets everything done. Maybe 3 songs screaming on that day.
Yeah. Done to me.
When I think of what you breathe, when I think of what you've done, be alright.
Be alright. Pull it out of your bum.
Pull something out of my butt. Hopefully my voice do what we need it to do so we can get 2 done. One with a lot of screaming and then one with low in pain where it's almost nothing.
Yeah.
Check, 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 check. Hey, hey, how are you? Josh is in here. He's really close to my face. Hey, hey. I got me. This is the worst part of the record. Why am I not getting... Fuck! It's really bothersome, and then Josh drive me insane. Okay, back to yelling. All right, Monday. Get started.
This section on this day, this section on that.
Yeah.
I can't just do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have percussion on 20th or 21st. I still don't have a date on that.
Right. Okay.
Oh, the 20th.
20th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So this is all very problematic.
Mm-hmm.
The trouble that I'm having scheduling wise is that we have brass coming in one day, we have winds coming in another day. I just don't know how long all this is going to take each day. So it's hard to gauge how much vocals we can get done.
That's kind of.
I'm just saying that there's not a lot of parts for the brass or the winds.
Okay.
So that's not going to
Those
take.
might be like half day almost.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
if even that. So, yeah, I think we can probably, depending on how quickly we go, get this done in a couple hours.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
what songs are they going to be on?
Well, the overture.
Yeah.
Overture, and then I mean, honestly, since we're not doing those other pieces that I wrote, there's going to be not much. It's really just going to be overture, and then I don't know what the interlude's going to be like between Hallelujah and Cut, but.
So should I just go here then? Should I go?
Yeah, you cut me down again.
Let's do that.
Okay, here we go.
second verse?
All right, so like years ago, we were at a bar on tour. Was it San Francisco?
San Francisco, yeah.
Jake's dad was there, and then everyone was like, "Dude, get on the mic, start rapping." We're at some bar, and it was like some like rapper DJ thing. So I'm all hammered, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Give me the mic, and they didn't want to. Like, what?
Oh well, I remember it way different, but I guess that's the truth because I was drunk. I don't really remember that night.
And then
did I steal the microphone?
Convinced them to. You're like, come on, and they gave it to you. And I turned to my dad. I was like, watch this.
I'm an idiot, and so I started like freestyling, rapping, and since I was drunk, I remember I was like something about a second verse, and the only thing that came to mind that rhymed with that was second verse. My balls are in your purse. Nah, just kidding. Blah blah blah. And once I said my balls are in your purse, Jake lost it. This is over a decade ago, and this joke just lives on until this day. You still hear
every time I hear second verse, I think of that and hear it every time.
So now, now it's a thing. Every time somebody says second verse, I gotta say it, and there's a lot of second verses on this album. So, so if you see it, I do not have Tourette's. It's just a recall from years prior.
Love it.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
How's it
Guys.
going?
How's it? How's it going?
Good.
Good.
It'll be helpful.
I know what I'm singing. This is gonna be insane.
Work through what the parts are going to be. I'm thinking that I want to have you try a
Why do I still have you on my mind?
Yeah.
And why do I still struggle harder to breathe when I think of what you've done to me?
Okay, cool. Okay. Stop singing the last note. It's fucking me up. It might sound better than I sound like a bird. Okay. 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 So do what? Ooh, ooh. Ooh.
I hear you praying to Jesus. You won't have to feel it.
Cool. I think
Yeah, dog.
we're good on it.
I'm going to go pee now.
And then we'll see.
Okay.
Wikipedia.
It's time to say goodnight. Why do I still have you on my mind? And why do I feel the way?
Yeah. Good.
That was sick.
Okay.
Oh.
So dope.
Double it. So that's right.
That's right.
Damn.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah! Nothing's ever gonna be alright. It's time to say goodnight.
That's good too. That first half.
Really, really good.
That was great.
I've got a lot of pressure on my mind. Every noise is a voice telling me to try. But I'm lost in all my darkness, and I can't let go. Every day I falter, every day I feel the pain. Kneel before the altar of all this rage. Here's the truth, I never believed in you.
That's where I was at doing it.
Yeah, I think I was doing it a little bit.
Were you?
Yeah.
Try it?
I was the outcast.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Rhythm.
Okay. I was the outcast, the ghost of my muse, the artist who's buried beneath the accused. Now I'm a fire they'll never con.
Oh, he did change it to what I did. Okay.
Yeah. It's a little squeaky. We should just do another pass at the whole thing. Because I feel like that the main needs another. It's a little squeaky at the top. That's gonna sound crazy.
That's cool.
Okay, again.
Let's check that one out.
Check one. Okay.
Yeah, let's hear what it sounds like.
Listening.
Got something really cool happening. My fingers look like I've been like clawing out of a grave and I can't figure out what's going on.
Oh yeah, what? Were you in the backyard gardening?
I've just been in here. I took a shower and then I came straight here, so I don't really know what's going on.
That's so weird.
There's maybe it's this. Like there's something that I'm touching that's getting in my fingernails.
Rubbing off onto your fingernails. Yeah, it's got to be that. Because there's nothing else really that you're touching.
No.
Unless it's like something on these.
Well, no, because it's like, look, it's like staining. I'm gonna go pee-pee. And then we should consider that would be a good one to do that type of harmony, because it's my voice is gonna sound better on that because it's kind of a rougher chorus. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. So let's try that after you do what editing you need to do.
Yeah.
Let's work on that.
Yeah, maybe I can just tighten up the horns while it's fresh on the mind, just kind of get all that there.
Okay.
And then we could pull that up, and then I could edit whatever I need to edit within that, and then
because that's the only song right now. Like I have it in my I have a little notebook of what we're doing, and my note is that it's a mess. So we should take some time to figure out what that's going to be.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Everything else is feeling really tight, and we know the direction. It's just a matter of finishing whatever bits and pieces need to get done. But that one like kind of needs some decisions to be made.
Yes.
Because we need to get harmonies going for it.
Yeah.
And if we don't know exactly what we're doing, there's no reason to track 20 different kinds of harmonies.
Yeah, for sure.
Try it without the try it again.
Yeah. I think take that out, but it's funny.
Slamming.
When those guitars and drums are mixed right, and it's just like, that's gonna be insane.
Crushing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit, that's
what a monster of a song.
It's a big boy.
What's going on? Yeah. If we don't, the snare is doing what the clap would do there. I feel like it's gonna get messy.
It's true.
I don't think we need it.
No.
Yeah, it is kind of fire.
Yeah. Because at the end there, like we already have that.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be
too much.
Yeah. All right.
For all the years you held my helping hand, I know I'll never understand the way you're tired. I can hear your scream.
Very cool. Strings actually sounded really good on that one.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, she nailed that cello part. I was just like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
Both of the bass and the cello.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
your husband
there were
and
a
wife
couple.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, they were good.
Oops, hold on.
Hey, there's supposed to be a low under that. Lonnie content. Gotta get some Lonnie content.
No running, no hiding, no escape from me.
Lonnie, you look high every second.
Yeah.
So we're tracking guitars for House of Woe and Pain. It's one of my favorites, actually. Oh yeah, I'm basically doing all the guitars here in my studio, We went to Florida, we tracked all the drums, the vocals, had choir, brass, woodwinds, strings, all kinds of crazy stuff going on there. And I'm back here in my studio now to kind of do the last finishing touches before it is sent off to be mixed. I've got to retrack a bunch of the guitars because we changed the key of songs and stuff, so I have to redo some stuff, and a lot of it was also just kind of like scratch guitars. This is the guitar I used to track Bleeders, so I'm sticking with that sound and got new strings on it, and so we're just gonna kind of track some stuff here. I already did, this song has a section where it goes to double drop B, so there's like a bridge riff of, and then it drops to the double drop B. Where's that? Here we go. So it's like this. Absolutely crazy low. Now the bass guitar stays at standard drop B, because if the bass went double drop B, it would just be an absolute disaster. So here we go. So all the riffs are going to be basically just one performance left, one performance right. But on choruses, I will quad track it, so it just gives the chorus a bit of a boost. I'll probably punch some parts in and tighten it up because it's kind of sloppy, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. Yeah, I have to do a little bit of editing here to clean it up, but I'll get it tighter. So let's go to the fun riff here in the breakdown. I think this is my favorite part of this song. I don't know, I love the whole song, but this is just so cool. Oh. I forgot about that. That part might actually be my favorite part of the song. I don't know, this whole song is just insane. Crazy tempo change. This song's going, it starts at 195. Goes to 190 in the chorus, then the riff goes to 195, the second verse stays at 195, the chorus goes back to 190, then it goes back to 195, and then there's a breakdown that goes to 109. So from 195 to 109. It's nuts. It's a crazy tempo change, but it totally works. And then it goes back to 195. And then breakdown 2 is at 190. And the last chorus finishes at 190 because I had to get back to 190 because the choruses are all at 190. So the tempo is, this one's crazy. Like, some of the craziest tempo changes I've ever done, but it totally works. Let's see. I need to click. Try again. Into the double drop B. Oh, it's so nasty, dude. It's so nasty. There's a lot of this in this video. Most insane shit ever. Anyway, that's a peek into me tracking guitars. But yeah, I will go in and make sure every single note is played well, and I will redo things over and over and over and over again until I feel like I literally can't get it any better.
Yeah.
Slamming.
When those guitars and drums are mixed right, and it's just like,
oh yeah,
that's gonna be insane.
Crushing.
Yeah.
Yep.